Some people say that Corydoras are just aquarium janitors, little fish that eat leftover food from their friends and clean the bottom of their tank. But that's not true, and many Corydoras starve slowly in their tanks. And in reality, they are more than just an aquarium cleaner. They are some of the most active, entertaining, and fun beginners fish that you can keep. They dig in the sand, they zoom around in the bottom of your tank, and sometimes even dash to the surface. They are also super easy to keep, but many people still get them wrong. From wrong setup to feeding habit, there are many common mistakes many people often make. So before you keep them, why don't you watch this video first? Because I'll show you everything you need to know about Corydoras care. From tank setup to the tank mates, I'll cover everything in this guide. And I'm also gonna show you one mistake that slowly kills your Corydoras. Wanna know how to properly take care of Corydoras? Let's dive in. Before we talk about tanks and other things, let's talk about the fish first. Corydoras are small catfish from South American rivers and streams. Belong to a family known as armored catfish, which means instead of regular scales, their bodies are covered in bony plates. And here's something interesting. There are around 170 to 180 Corydoras species that have been scientifically described. But experts estimate there could be actually over 400 species in the wild. So yeah, that's a huge number. Despite the huge variety, most Corydoras share a similar personality. They are peaceful, social, and very active fish that spend most of their time zooming around in the bottom of your tank. And sometimes, they'll suddenly appear in the surface, gulping a bit of air. And don't worry if you see this, that's completely normal. Corydoras can actually absorb oxygen from air. And if you really want them in your tank, there are a few things you need to set up properly. First up, let's talk about the tank. Since Corydoras are small fish, many people assume that they can live happily in a super undersized aquariums. But that's not always the case. For most common species like panda or bronze Corydoras, a 20-gallon tank is the best starting point. While for larger species, you may need 30 or even 55-gallon tank. And for the filtration, you don't need to go complicated. Simple sponge filter or hang-on back filter usually works perfectly. But for larger species, you may want to consider a canister filter. And for the most important part, which is the substrate, these fish love to dig through the bottom using their barbels, so sharp gravels are no-go, as it can harm your Corydoras. Choosing smooth sand or fine gravel is a better choice for these fish. And you can add some plants, driftwoods, and hollow decorations for them to explore. But remember this one important thing when keeping Corydoras. Floor space is everything. These fish zooms around in the bottom of your tank, so plenty of open space for them to explore is really important. And that's for the tank setup. And how would you set up their tank? Let me know. Just as important as the tank, the water parameter is also a thing you need to pay attention to. Many people assume that clear water means safe water, but that's not always true. And if you want to be a good Corydoras keeper, water quality is something you cannot ignore. And luckily, Corydoras are fairly adaptable fish. As long as the water clean and stable, they usually do fine. And for the water parameter of these fish, Ideally, you want to be in the pH of 6 to 7, with water temperatures of 70 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit, with ammonia and nitrite obviously has to be 0, while nitrate below 20 ppm, and they prefer soft waters, with hardness around 2 to 12 degrees of hardness. Sounds complicated, but to make it easier for you, here's a table that I made here to summarize everything you need to know about their water parameter. And if you have your own preferred water parameters for Corydoras, feel free to share it in the comments. Here's the part of Corydoras that many people misunderstood: their diets. Many people assume that they can survive by just eating leftover food that sinks to the bottom of their tank, which is again not true, and that's one of the fastest way to slowly starve them or even kill them. And yes, they do eat from the bottom, but I didn't say that they can survive by just eating leftovers. Corydoras are actually omnivores, which means they eat pretty much anything, and that also says that they need varied diet to stay healthy. And you should feed them foods like bloodworms, brine shrimp, daphnia, algae wafers, and high-quality sinking pellets. Giving them a variety of food not only makes them healthier, but also makes them much more active, energetic, and happier. And here's a tip that many people overlook. If they struggle or compete for food with other fish, try feeding them when the lights are out, so the food actually reaches to the bottom. Feed them once or twice a day, as much as they can finish within a few minutes, because overfeeding not only mess up your fish, but also your tank. We've got the basics covered. Let's talk about their tank mates. Corydoras are incredibly peaceful fish. In fact, they are basically the cool guys that likes to make friends with almost everyone. This makes them a perfect fish for community tanks. But before you toss in some fish to be their friends, there are a few things you need to keep in mind. First, avoid aggressive fish. Even though Corydoras like to make friends with almost every fish, not every fish will treat them as friends. Large or aggressive fish like Oscar may see them either as target or snack. Second, always keep them in groups. Many people didn't know this, but Corydoras are actually schooling fish. Keeping just one or two literally makes them depressed. And ideally, you need at least 6 fishes or more. And when you keep them in a proper group, they become much more confident, and you'll see them zooming around and digging more often. And for good tank mates, you can try fishes like neon tetras, harlequin rasbora, or angelfish. And there's actually many more fish that can live with Corydoras, but I might cover those in a separate video. So if you want to see the full list of what fish that can be a roommate for your Corydoras, subscribe now so you don't miss it. And there you have it, a complete guide to Corydoras care. They are more than just an aquarium janitors. They are active, social, and fun fish for beginners that make the bottom of your tank more alive. And if you set their tank properly, feed them well, and keep them in a proper group, these bottom zoomers will entertain you for 5 to 10 years to come. And if you are planning to keep this fish, this video can be your helpful guide to keep them successfully in your tank. And that wraps up this video. And now, I'm curious. Would you keep Corydoras in your aquarium? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed what you see here, give this video a thumbs up and share this video to your friends who are interested with Corydoras. Subscribe for more fun or helpful fish keeping content, as there will be more that you don't want to miss. Thanks for watching, my aquatic friends, and have a wonderful aquatic life. See you next time.